Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by thelines.com. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined by Nate Weitzer. He's on the East Coast, and we are looking at the second game here of the night on Wednesday night. Two playoff games, and this one going through the Rockets back at home here against the Dubs, looking to stave off elimination as well. Other game has the Timberwolves in LA looking to get the win on the series there as well. So make sure you check both these episodes out. Subscribe to that channel. Continue to follow along with us for the rest of these playoffs. Nate, let's go ahead and jump right into what you've got here for Rockets and Dubs.
Yeah, Rockets to win the first quarter and then actually win the game this time is plus 125. We had been going Rockets first half, Warriors win, and that paid off big time in game 4. And you can also look at even money here for the Rockets to win the first half and not just the first quarter if you want a slightly larger sample because their depth definitely favors them more in that second quarter. But first of all, I just think it's very unlikely that the Rockets are going to lose the first half and then come back and beat the Warriors. So you might as well just beat the bet Warriors money line if you think this is going the other way and that they're going to try to get rid of these guys and go all out for a win rather than preserving some energy for a potential game 6. Because I think Anthony Slater, their beat writer, brought up that there's a lot of parallels between this and 3 years ago, right? In 22 when they were playing Memphis in the first round, and then they went to Memphis, lost by about 50, and they were just like, yeah, that's cool, we'll see you later. Beat them in game 6 at home, and then went on to win the title, actually. So, this veteran team, if they get down early, they might just punt the game, and then you are not sweating anything in terms of, if the Rockets have come out strong every game this series, pretty much. They're always backs against the wall. They actually lost the first quarter last time out, but still, if you look at the sample size, held the Warriors to 18 in all 3 prior first quarters. We're talking 38% or worse shooting. They have the worst true shooting in the league by a mile in these playoffs. Rockets have not even been much better. They have a 99 offensive rating in the first quarter, but when you hold the Dubs to 83 offensive rating and you have a 60% rebounding rate in that first quarter, you're going to have enough advantages to push here before, Jimmy does his thing, turning it on late, before Steph figures you out. This is when you get to them. And I think in this situation, if they get to them early, they'll be able to keep their foot down and send this one back to the bag.
Yeah. To me, it's just going to come down to if they're going to score. And if they can just put together any semblance of an offense, then they're good. Maybe they can go into this game knowing that Jalen Green's not going to play as much. That would be one angle that might help them from the standpoint that he played 24 minutes last game. I don't know if that was predetermined or not, but Gary Payton II is just, he's the Undertaker for this man. In so many ways, that's a double entendre if you think about it. He makes Jalen Green the Undertaker as well. So I think that's going to be a big part of this because you've got the Aries on the bench. That would be my biggest thing for Ime is if I was going to be asking him what's up, I'd be like, bro, can you commit to someone? Go with that person between Jabari, Jalen Green, Tari. There's no rhythm ever got between them. They're not getting legit minutes. That would be my biggest thing with them. But this at home, I think they're going to come out ripping and roaring, and I would take that first quarter as well in and of itself if you just want to play something slightly safer than worrying about them closing when they can't really score, right? I'm going to go with Fred here over on his points. Van Vliet going 13.5. And for Fred, it really comes down to some of the similar stuff we were talking about in the Lakers episode where we're talking about, well, I don't know how well this guy's going to play, but I know there's 5 guys that are going to play 40 minutes. So I'm going to bet on one of them for sure before I bet on anybody else. And Fred is one of 2 guys that I'm pretty sure I can bet on at 40 minutes. I don't know who Ime trusts at this point, other than he's going to give Amon at least 30. If Amon shows that he deserves 35, maybe he gets there at this point. I think Steven Adams is penciled in for 20 because he's not going to lose the rebounding battle when that needs to be something that they win in order to win the game. It's one of the only areas that they're better than this team, allegedly, although Quentin Post has been doing a bang-up job, I will say that. But the point is Fred can get minutes, and the other guys I don't trust. And so he might not have taken a bajillion shots in this last game. There's not as many possessions to go around in these games with these teams where I would say last game was actually a little bit high scoring from some of the stuff we've seen between them when it gets choppy in their games end at 99 to 101. So I don't want to go too crazy on too many guys, but once again, I can bank on 13 shot attempts from Fred because he's going to be out there for that amount of time. He's also, there's like minutes out there where he's just getting usually the best matchup. A lot of the time it's been either like Buddy, right? Pods has been mostly on Jalen Green. So he took some Fred last time. Not a bad defender by any means, but also someone that I trust Fred to score on, right? And this is just one-on-one stuff, man. I also I don't know that Şengün is going to go, under on his points, but I'm not banking on him scoring 31 again. Obviously, a career high in the playoffs for him at this point with a small sample size there. Maybe he still goes, but I mean, it's still one-on-one. It's not a great matchup. So I think there are still a few more shots to be distributed after he just shot so many more than he normally does. I would still give Fred, if he's at another 40 minutes, probably closer to 15, 16 shot attempts. And he doesn't need to be super wicked hot like he was in the last game where he shot 75% from three. But if he's going to take 12 threes, just need him to shoot 4 for 12. And we're feeling really good about him on the points here.
Yeah, well, I mean, Şengün and Fred are the two-man game that the Rockets are playing through with Jalen Green taking a back seat, like you said. I mean, when it's just those two guys out there and everybody else just kind of cutting off them or crashing, they're reliable. So, I mean, I do still like Şengün, and I like him to set up Fred for a couple of those open threes when he draws some help because, I mean, they clearly Ime. So, I mean, my bet here is Şengün 20 plus with the Rockets money line. That's plus 150 or better here. And I mean, clearly Ime Udoka was thinking the same thing prior to game 4, that we got to play through this man a little bit more. We saw a significant increase from the first 3 games to game 4, from 27% usage to 36% for Şengün, from 4.3 post touches to 12, 6 elbow touches to 11. And he's scoring 0.7 more points per touch, per paint touch, as they were able to, the reason for that, X's and O's, is they got Draymond off him, right? Whatever they did to switch up to get like a smaller defender, GP too small, Quentin Post too slow, TJ disaster when in his 6 minutes, and Jimmy Butler as the last line of defense, or like that secondary guy, still hobbled. I mean, fantastic gutty game from him, but now like flying on a pretty short rest here, 1 day off. Like I don't know. I mean, you're taking him to score again. I'm not going to doubt him there, but I don't think he can make the same impact on both ends that he could were he healthy. And Şengün, is just a breath of fresh air for a half court offense that's otherwise abysmal. He missed some bunnies the first couple games. He did not miss those anymore. And I mean, Draymond did make it his business to guard him on that decided shot, right? But otherwise, like I think, going with the theme or the theory that they're going to kind of punt this game potentially as the veterans, or just not like burn too many matches because they have game 6 in their pocket at home. I don't necessarily see Draymond throwing everything he can at this dude defensively in this particular game.
Yeah, I mean, whether he does or not, like the key point to me is Şengün is going to take a lot of shots, and he's going to play 40 plus, probably 42 if they need him to play 44, because this is another all hands on deck game. I don't think Ime wants to go down. I mean, the thing about going back to game 6 is like, yeah, that's great, but it's still, I just don't think you want to waste chances. And from everybody that I've spoken to, which is 2 people who cover the Warriors, they're like, look, if Jimmy's playing, Jimmy's doing Jimmy. He's playing 40 plus minutes. He's expected to take the reins on offense when Steph is not out there, and when Steph is triple teamed, right? It's really going to be up to him a lot more, a lot of ways. So the boards, I can understand being a little bit iffy on those. The assists maybe, but I'm going to go with the points because they're still low, 18.5. I can't imagine there's going to be great odds on that when people are getting to this episode. I can't imagine that it will be on at 18.5 on a lot of these books. But like I will say I'm good with that too, 19.5. And the reason is the free throws. It's the free throws. And if he's going to be out there for 40 minutes, he got 12 of them in the last game. He called Dylan Brooks some very choicey words that I will not repeat so as to not get us flagged on YouTube. Like this far apart from his face. Great television, man. The playoffs, just the NBA playoffs, keep bringing it. And so for Jimmy, it's like, it's the free throws, man. I'm not gonna like go that in depth in it, but like give me stars on the road. My cap of the dubs here is I don't trust anybody not named Wardell or Jimmy the third, right? Like, and I trust a few other guys. Like, I kind of trust Buddy to just not care and just still have the sort of happy, cymbal clapping monkey in his head that is just spinning around in circles like Homer Simpson. Like, that's what I envision. Buddy's just above all that. He's so happy and go lucky that I would take him. I would take some GP2 stuff because I think they trust him as a vet alongside Steph. And to be honest, I don't think the moment's too big for pods. But at the end of the day, I think the usage is going to come so tremendously heavy from Jimmy and Steph. And I think we everybody knows, everybody and their mama knows that Steph is going to have two dudes on him everywhere he goes. They're going to stay with him when they hedge really hard on any screen you bring him. They're both staying right there. And so the guy that he makes that pass off to is going to have to do something with it. If it is Jimmy, which by the way, we haven't seen Jimmy as much in as the roll man for Steph. He's playing a lot more off ball because they want him. So just to be real specific about it, when Steph gets doubled, he's finding like Jimmy first. And then Jimmy has the option to find Buddy on the second pass because they're always making Buddy 2 passes away as well to try to get him to be that Klay Thompson outlet that you can't leave. So they keep him 2 passes away. And that gives Jimmy the option now to either go and have a really unbalanced offense as he goes towards the rim or to kick out to Buddy for those 3. So those are the sort of offensive plays that I'm looking for from the Dubs. And so the assists I'm not scared of for Jimmy. I can understand if he's got a hurt tushy, maybe you don't want to go with the rebounds though.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. He's the outlet. He's the secondary playmaker. When Steph's probably going to have a lot of his touches just straight up denied. I mean, that's what the Rockets been trying to do. He managed to wriggle free and just absolutely terrify them with some incredible shot making in some of those first 2 games, and now it's just opened things up for everybody else. So yeah, whether you want to take Jimmy, Pods, or Buddy Hield, I would sign off on any of their points props, basically, because it's again going to be a game where Steph just kind of has to direct traffic and give the unofficial assist of just being like, "Yep, I'm double teamed over here." So you've got a much easier opportunity, and that's why they brought Jimmy Butler in there to capitalize on those situations.
Yeah. Imagine thinking that Jimmy Butler was not going to be a good addition to this team. That would have been wild. But that is all the time we have for you in this game. Another great one that we're looking for. These playoffs are awesome, man. So hopefully you guys are following along as we continue here with videos for each and every episode during these weekdays. Until we see you next, happy betting.